Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about how to arrive at a forward shaft position on your chipping around the greens more consistently. So I'm going to give you the answer first. The answer is to get a forward shaft lean at impact, start with a forward shaft lean at address. Perfect contact. So what you want to do in order to do that is buy a copy of my book, Open Stance and 3 Short Game Lessons on Amazon, or you can get my updated version, it's expanded version on my website, openstanceacademy.com. And I show you how to set your feet so that you can do everything repeatedly, every time, no mistakes. So you set the club first, step in with your back foot first, just behind the club face and golf ball. Step in with your forward foot, make a little V with your feet so that your forward foot is slightly behind, or your forward ankle is slightly behind your rear ankle. Lean onto your left side, or your forward side, and then lean the shaft forward. When you lean the shaft forward, you're creating a dynamic whereby if you release the club early, you'll hit behind the golf ball. So this is about really training yourself to arrive at your start position. And you'll have to have good tempo, you'll have to have good timing, those two things are different. You'll have to get into the habit of, instead of casting the club, you'll have to get into the habit of, at worst, putting the ball. Just putt, that way in the hole. Just putting the ball, okay? And at best, you can determine which direction your golf ball projects by shoulders first and getting more shaft lean. You can get more shaft lean and drag the ball to the left. That's called a later release. And you can get a little earlier release and the ball will project a little bit to the right. So when you release the club will determine if you miss to the left or to the right. So you have to make sure that you're on top of both of those things. Okay. Perfect impact. So when you get into this, you're going to have some heel hits. If you don't hit behind the ball or hit it thin, you're going to have heels and toe hits, and that's just because you're adapting to the stance. Club face, back foot, front foot, lean, and pop. Decent contact that time. Now I'll be honest with you, I haven't been able to practice that much in the last 5 years. So otherwise I would practice myself into a place where I couldn't miss the sweet spot. You can do that pretty easily and pretty quickly. The good thing about the short game is you can sharpen your short game faster than any other part of your game. Because you're closer to the hole, shots don't take as long to hit or finish. Because you have a setup structure, they don't take as long to make a repetition, and you can focus your mind more quickly from shot to shot to execute exactly what you're trying to do, because everything is consolidated into this structure of your stance. So club face, right foot, left foot, lean. Now I know I'm sure everything is ready. Okay, so my only goal now is to feel my movement, measure my movement, change my movement so that I hit the ball perfectly solid. Like that. Okay, so after a few hundred reps, and I'm not saying 100 reps in one day, I used to do that all the time. I would chip 300 balls a day, and I would hit 4 different shots, so that's 75 shots per shot. So I'd hit a flop shot, I'd hit a wedge, chip and run, I'd hit a 7-iron, chip and run, I'd hit a sand wedge, kind of a short kind of shot, and I do that every single day. And if I wanted to do more, I would invent more shots. There's like 100 short game shots you can use, and I do it from short grass and then long grass, day to day. And I would get to the point where it was just a matter of how close I got, and not whether I got it on the green. Club face, right foot, left foot, lean, and pop. You can see that I'm not moving my club back, but when you hit it perfectly solid, it doesn't take much to get the ball moving. A lot of people build in slop into their backswing because they're not used to hitting the ball solid. They don't even know what the sweet spot is. But if you can hit the sweet spot every time, you don't need to take it back very far. And one thing I wanted to go over while we're at it is, if you line yourself up, if you line your club one place and align your stance another, for instance, if your club lines up at the target, but your stance has you aim too far to the right, you're going to hit the ball on the heel a lot. Conversely, if you do the same, but you skew toward too open with your stance, you're going to hit the ball on the toe a lot, and this is why. When you aim your club at the target, and then you aim your feet to the right, your brain wants you to come across the ball this way. And you hit the ball closer to the heel. It's just a natural reaction. I should say it's a natural, perfectly natural athletic reaction to hit the ball on the heel when you're aimed too far to the right. Now the other problem is, when you aim too far to the right, your club is closed. So the ball's going to come out hotter. When the ball comes out hotter, you want to do things in your swing to remediate that, or to cancel that out. So you release the club early. And releasing the club early means it's going to be further from you. When it's further from you, that brings the heel of your club into play. So you don't want to set up to the right if your club is set up on your line. You want to be true to your club face. So setting the club down and setting your feet down parallel to the grooves on the club, that's the best policy. Conversely, if you set the club down toward the target, the grooves are perpendicular to the target, and you set your feet too far behind the ball. Okay, so if I set up too far back here, that's essentially aiming too far left. If I set the ball back here, that's aiming too far right. So if I aim too far to the left, the ball is then forward in my stance along my target line, but not my feet line. So you fool yourself. So the instinct when you aim too far left is to help the ball toward the hole. So you bring the club inside and go out away from it. You hit the ball on the toe. It's just natural. So the only way to repeat is to concentrate. You really have to concentrate every time, anytime. And like I said, you can get better at your short game really fast. You just have to concentrate every time. That's the thing. When I start practicing, an hour seems like forever because I'm not really concentrating. But when I really concentrate on doing everything exactly the way I want, then the hour flies by. I tugged that because the handle was too far forward, a little more forward than it was at address. But that's the kind of concentration. You have to get into the habit of practicing to make every shot you hit so that your brain focuses in on a very small goal. So I'll do this one again. I'll probably make this one. Well, that sucked. Ball's too far ahead. Let me lengthen my backswing so that I don't tug it to the left. I'll just make a little bigger backswing. There we go. That's better. So play with this over the course of the next couple of weeks, and I think going into the fall and the winter, or going south for Florida, you're going to have a pretty sharp short game just by paying attention to your setup and then feeling what you're doing with your golf club to bring your impact to the center of the club face, and you're going to have a much, much better short game. I'll see you all next time.